Glover. I mean, you can't live after that. You pretty much have to.
If I talk to, I don't know what the first word that I would say to Crispin Glover besides maybe, what was it like peeping Tomming Leah Thompson?
I would probably piss him off. Exactly. I would go to Back to the Future, and I would just sit there and beg him to say, like, you know,
lines
like, "Hey, McFly," or "Hey, you, get your damn hands off her." Yeah, something like, "No, Biff, you leave her alone," like something like that. But
that's awesome because like nobody really wants to say, "Hey, how's Willard?"
I liked Willard. I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah,
I wasn't that big of a fan myself.
I mean, it wasn't like a great movie, but I don't.
I think you liked it just because it had Crispin Glover in it.
No, but that woman who played his mother, and she was all like, "How you doing, mother?" Like that kind of like. And what was his name? The guy that played he always plays like weird like military dudes. But he played like his boss or whatever.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. He literally always plays like a sergeant major.
Yeah, he's always like
Arlie Armory.
Yeah, I think that's his name. But yeah, I think Willard doesn't get a fair share of, you know.
Yeah,
I never did see the remake of Wizard of Gore.
I've seen it. I don't remember it though,
but
it wasn't memorable.
Crispin Glover. But yeah, like, how many days did y'all like shoot the movie? Like, what was the budget? Did y'all have like a set time that y'all had to do it in, or did y'all have a big enough budget where y'all could, you know, kind of play around a little bit?
No, we didn't. I wish. Nah, man, the budget was pretty small. That's why, like, I actually want to ask how much you guys thought that the movie cost.
I think it looked like it probably had at least probably a solid $100,000.
I'd say more actually, just because it had the production quality of a lot of independent movies you see on, you know, you can go rent from, you know, Blockbuster or Netflix. I mean, I'd say it had more just from what
I'll definitely say this. It probably has probably a lot of the best production value of all the movies that we're probably seeing.
I will say this. Out of some of the movies that we've watched that you actually heard of budgets higher, it looked like in the same range of those.
Well, it's like that movie Stain that we talked about last week.
It looked like it had
that. Like
was
Stain was like $1 million budget, and I could see, like, although it was a great movie, you wouldn't necessarily go, "Oh, that movie had $1 million budget." It looked like, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, Down the Road definitely looked like it had $100,000.
Down the Road, you know, has more going on in it as far as, you know,
special
killer and special effects, and it still looked like it was on par with that $1 million budget movie.
What was the budget, if you don't mind us asking?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say yet, but it's nowhere near what you guys are saying.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, good. Yeah, no, man, it's a lot lower than what you guys are saying.
I mean, it definitely, you could definitely tell you put your money where
you put the money in the right place.
where it needed to go.
Thank you.
Because some of the special effects in it, because I come from a lot from the special effects, you know, kind of side of things, and some of the special effects I thought were very, very good. Especially in the scene in the cabin. I think it was the cabin.
Oh yeah, that one was great. Yeah,
where he's just torturing that dude. I thought that was.
Now, when you were talking about too, like there was a lot of implied violence in the movie.
Not so much in Down the Road. I don't think you could say that it was implied violence. But I think that's one thing that I liked about Down the Road is that it
had more of the gore.
It had more of a gore than like Rage or Stain did.
Right.
But it was definitely more in your face, and I think that's what it was definitely where like some of the other stuff we got in was like a throwback to stuff like from the 70s and stuff like that. Down the Road seems to me like to be like a real like 80s horror movie.
Right.
It seems like I mean I could even see it like with an 80s soundtrack to it. I mean, because when you watch the movie, other than the car that the kids are driving, there's not really a whole lot that actually indicates what time period it's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could kind of see it taking place at any time. But
that's what it's like I do have like there's like I don't know, like I'm trying to like not to like spoil anything, but like when like pretty much I have a sequel already lined up.
Yeah.
If hopefully, you know, this one does well and, you know, gets picked up and we can do another one. The sequel is so much more in your face. Like, this one just really is kind of just like, you get the feel for the character, but then, well, of Hunter S. And then the second one would be like, it explains everything. And so that it would
to
just
get a
pick
little more
up
backstory, too.
Oh, yeah. But, like, it's, I don't know. I'm really excited for the sequel, hopefully.
So Hunter-ish was really the killer, because I remember when we watched it, there was a little bit of discussion on if Hunter-ish was actually real and it wasn't the girl.
Right, exactly. I remember that discussion.
Well, it's all explained in the sequel.
Oh, okay. So
but I mean, yes, Hunter is the killer, but there's more to it. So
more to it.
Oh,
well, because it does kind of end with a thing that you kind of think maybe he's not working alone,
right?
And then also you kind of think that because the girl does come off as kind of psycho. Well, I mean, it starts off with her in a psych ward, so you do kind of think that maybe this girl is just freaking nuts and she wound up killing all her friends and but yeah, I mean, if you have any luck like some of the other a lot of the films that we've already selected and have been talking to, like they're getting picked up left and right. So maybe HorrorQuest has like a luck to it. Like you get your film in HorrorQuest. I mean, because I don't know if you were able to listen to our last episode, but the girl we had on, her movie got picked up right after we programmed it for HorrorQuest. So, and she didn't even have like any kind of marketing or anything, and it got picked up was in the iTunes top 50, without doing anything. So yeah, but I don't think it'll have any trouble getting picked up.
No, because again, like what I saw, I can think of two really spectacular scenes. The one we were talking about with the bunk beds, flagging them across, and that torture scene that are very excellent scenes. I could easily see it getting picked up.
Yeah,
I could easily see it.
That makes me feel a lot better.
I could honestly see that like going into a Red Box or a Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah,
and see that movie there myself.
I would say out of most of the stuff that got submitted for HorrorQuest, it is the movie that I could see having maybe even like some kind of theatrical release, because it does look
like a limited, for sure, like launching release.
Yeah, like a short, limited, art house kind of release. I definitely don't see it in like 2,000, screens nationwide. But
no.
it looks good enough or on par with stuff that I've seen have that kind of release.
Exactly. Well, I mean, now in today's cinema, like horror movies rarely get big releases, and if they do get big releases, it's almost like a turn off to go seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, are you already like planning the sequel? Is it in the works, or do y'all have?
I mean, like I've been writing it here and there, but it's not something I want to do right away afterwards. I want to do like a couple, like 2 other flicks or 1 other flick, and then and see what happens with down the road to start off with. I mean, if down the road like gets picked up but doesn't do decent enough, then what will be the point really? But But no, like our next project, we're working on something else that'll be pretty fun. So it's like, because I don't always want to do horror for the rest of my life.
Oh, okay.
This is the career that I will stay in. Like there's a comedy movie in somewhere, but I do want to do a couple of horror flicks, because that's what I always wanted to tell stories of horror flicks. That's what I got into this for, was to tell a couple horror flick stories. So.
Yeah, because